Warm greetings, radio lovers. My name is Sidiso Masolani. Today, I want us just to touch a little bit on the managerial part or the governance of a particular radio station for you to be able to run a proper radio station, or to properly run it or to govern it. You need to put some other aspects into a good perspective. Let us start with the governance of a radio station. It doesn't really matter whether you are taking community, commercial, or public broadcasting, but there will always be differences as we move on, as you will understand. But from the board of directors, these are supposed to be people who provide support system to the management to be able to run the station optimally, but they also have another duty of holding the management accountable, not necessarily policing them, but to do what is called monitoring and evaluation, to see how the policies of the radio stations are implemented for the outcome that is expected, and also to look at the performance of the management as agreed before they even start. So when you talk of management as well, they must also be able to know exactly what broadcasting contains, in that they should not or cannot run a radio station if they do not understand how it operates. So all the operational matters of ensuring that the programming is in line with the programming license conditions, but most importantly as well, identification of the radio station in that it broadcasts to a certain niche or a certain or a particular target audience in different sectors or segments of different broadcast programs or outputs. But what is important mostly is that the radio station cannot be listened to if it doesn't seem to be having a certain direction. If you dial from a certain station to another, you should be able to understand that now I'm listening to a radio station A because there is an identifying aspects there. In other words, the identity in terms of the music choice or the inclination towards music, or let's just talk of the music touch. We'll go deeper into it for people to understand exactly how do you determine that. So the management should be able to understand all of that, to be able to hold presenters accountable. So presenters should not and must not just on the microphone without being trained, because if you sit behind that microphone, you must understand exactly that this is something that can either build or destroy the community. So you need to know exactly what you're doing. So if you are trained, it comes automatically to understand that as soon as I open my mouth and I talk to these people listening, I'm actually talking to one listener, although it is listened by 1 million or 6 or 10 million people. But what is important is that when you're rooted to training, you would know, you'll have the skills, you'll have the capacity to anchor any type of a show, whether be it a talk show or music show or any other, in terms of your abilities. So that's basically that. It is very, very important not to take things for granted that, I can do these things with my eyes closed. Let me just get into that microphone and just show them what I'm made of. So next time when we meet, we'll break them down and talk about other things, and hoping that ultimately we'll have our broadcasting sector shaping up nicely to where it is desired. This is me signing out, since we have been doing a lot of talking. Let me just take a break. We'll talk again later.